So it's getting cold. It's the fall of the year, kind of transitioning fall to winter. It's where I am in the south, the water temperature doesn't get all that cold. Every now and then it'll get down to the 40s, but when it gets down below 60, like that 50s, anywhere from 52 to 58, you're starting to get that fall transition. I'm getting bundled up, got my warm hat, my suit on. The fish are getting ready to feed up for the winter, and they've already started, and they're more keyed on bait. That's what I love about fall fishing. Other times of the year, you know, you might find some bait fish, but fish don't relate to it as heavily when they're thinking about spawning or moving for something like that. In the fall, it's 100% bait fish oriented. So fishing in the winter can be a very tough time of the year to fish, but also real rewarding, because fish get in huge schools usually. Like when you find fish in the winter, there's a lot. Very rarely do you nitpick one here, one there in the winter, because they're really dead of the winter. The fish are just hunkered down. They're not feeding as heavily as they were in the fall, but they're still in some of the same areas, feeding on that bait out deep sometime, or even shallow if you get some dirty water situations. But winter fishing can be really, really rewarding, because when you find them, you can catch them really fast, and some good fish too. Winter, the fish are fed up, they're really, really fat, and they're healthy as they will be almost the whole year. I love throwing any type of jig in the fall, winter time. Anytime it gets colder, when the water starts cooling down, a jig's kind of one of my go-to baits, because it's one of the most versatile baits there is. You can take a football jig, you can fish out in 30 to 50 foot of water. You can take a regular like half-ounce all-purpose jig and skip docks, fish laydowns. A jig is the perfect bait to just do anything with in the fall. Fish are always eating crawfish. They love crawfish when it gets cold. That's one of their main forages, other than shad, when it gets really, really cold. So a jig gets big bites, and it's a great way to fish any depth water. If you don't know exactly, you come to a new lake, you don't know exactly what to look for, the fish will bite a jig pretty much everywhere in the country. So when it comes to fall, winter fishing, you can catch them all types of different jigs, but I love just a small finesse jig. This is a Greenfish tackle, just a little bitty finesse jig. It's I think it's about a 3/8 ounce, and I like in the winter, I don't want like a super active trailer. Like a Fat Albert, Zoom Fat Albert would be a little too much kick. This is a Zoom Creepy Crawler. It is a kicking tail trailer, but it's a really subtle. It has a very small vibration, and it has very little water resistance. That's what I like with these finesse jigs, because I'm usually fishing it relatively deep, and you get too much resistance on your trailer. Jig doesn't fall, doesn't stay on the bottom. It's hard to keep on the bottom when you're dragging it. So this is a Zoom Creepy Crawler trailer, and on a little finesse jig, it's the perfect trailer. And it's a great bait to just cover water with. You get, fish some points, you can fish the center of pockets, you can fish some deeper brush, deeper docks. Kind of a bait I should keep in my hand to throw at whatever happens to be in front of me at the time.